Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I'm so excited to be here with you guys with another weekly sewing tip. And today we are going to be talking a little bit about something that came in your member boxes this month. This little clearance plate. So it doesn't look like much, but once you learn how to use this, you will fall in love. And this is called a clearance plate. If you've never heard of that, you might have heard of something called a jean-a-majig, which is the same thing. A jean-a-majig is just the trademark name for this that is made by one company. So these are called clearance plates. And usually these are used, like if you're working with jeans and trying to hem them and you get to this seam here that is really thick. And sometimes your sewing machine has a hard time like going over the thickness change. And, sometimes it will miss a couple stitches before or after the thickness change. Well, these things are made to combat that. So that makes all the skipped stitches go away. So I'm going to switch cameras and show you guys how to do this. But first, for those of you that are tuning in on Facebook or in the group, you can check out all of the past live videos and tutorials that we've done every week by going to our YouTube page, and then you can see all the videos and sewing tips right there. If you are tuning in YouTube and you want to connect maybe a little bit more with some other sewists and um, interact with us a little bit more, have any questions you want to post to our member group, you can go to sewwhatbox.com/group. That will redirect you to our Facebook group where we do polls and other kinds of posts in there. And feel free to post anything that you're working on in that group as well. Now, if you don't know what Sew What Box is, you can go to the sewwhatbox.com and you can see a little bit of information about us. Basically, we are based in the United States and we hand cut sewing project kits and send those out to our members on a monthly basis. So it's like a sewing club, but you get goodies in the mail every month. Okay, so let's get started on learning how to use this jean-a-majig. Give me a second to get the camera switched over to the other camera that's on the sewing machine, and then we'll get started. Okay, so here we are on the sewing machine, and I'm just going to kind of show you what you would do with this. I'm going to pretend that I'm hemming these jeans. So, like I mentioned earlier, you know how the jean seam is usually a big deal to try to go over because the sewing machine misses stitches as it tries to go over this big change. So I'm just going to demonstrate really close or really slowly for you guys how this works. So I'm going to start sewing like normal as if I'm coming up to this seam allowance. Now, when the front of your presser foot gets to this thick part, this seam, you're going to want to stop with your needle in the down position, pick up your presser foot, and then we're going to slide this in this way, putting the needle in this little, the little U shape, the hole. Now the front end of this, I want to butt it right up as close as I can to the thick part of the seam. Once I've gotten that arranged, I'm going to put my presser foot back down. And what this thing does is it makes this presser foot become all the way up on the like the level of the thickness before it gets there. Then I'm going to keep sewing. Once I get onto the thickness, for this example, I'm going to be sewing off of the thickness again because it's just a seam allowance. So when I'm about ready to sew off of the thickness, in order to not skip any more stitches, I'm going to stop again and put my needle in the all the way down position, pick up my presser foot, and now we're going to put this in this way. Now what this is going to do is just keep that at the same level as we keep sewing. Now when you get to the end of this open part in this clearance plate, you'll stop again with your needle all the way down, pick up your presser foot, and pull this out. By now, you should be back onto the thin part, and so your sewing machine should be able to continue sewing without skipping any stitches. Just make sure to remember to put your presser foot back down before you get started. So I hope that helped. It's kind of a quick tutorial, really cool tool, and very easy to use. It's super crazy how much difference this thing will make just by putting your presser foot on the same level as the thick stuff that you're trying to sew over. It is so cool. So go ahead and leave me a comment below letting me know if you've used one of these clearance plates before or if this is new to you. If it's new to you, I'm really excited. I hope that you get a chance to use one in the near future. All right, guys. Well, that's all I've got for today. So it's about time for me to sign off, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching.